Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I have a fun project for us to do. It's called three-dimensional names, so 3D names. And you'll notice that I have all my letters going to disappear into this vanishing point, making them look three-dimensional. I used Mrs. K since Mrs. Kowalski is really long. It's up to you if you want to use your first name, your last name, a nickname. It's totally up to you if this is really new to you, you could practice with just your initials. So my initials would be VTK. So that's totally up to you what kind of name you would like to use. We're going to first draw our letters, and then we're going to add the lines that disappear into what's called the vanishing point, which is this dot here. You'll need drawing materials, and then if you would like color materials, this one is in black and white, but I am going to show you how to color one too. So we'll get started. So I'm just using a plain white piece of paper. Remember, your straight edge doesn't have to be a ruler. I just have a paint stick. So the first thing you want to do is make a dot, which is your vanishing point at the bottom of your paper. Then you're going to use your pencil, and you can write your name in all capital letters, so no lowercase. So I'm going to write Mrs. K again. And I would suggest using a pencil and not just jumping to Sharpie, just because it can, you want to be able to erase if you make a mistake. Okay, so there's Mrs. K. Now if you know how to draw in block letters, you could draw in block letters first. This is a way to draw in block letters if you're learning. So I wrote my name as I normally would. Now I'm just going to trace a line around the letters that I have to write my name. Oops. And then once you do that, you can erase the inside. So M. R. Okay, I'm gonna erase this. I hope you guys had a nice Easter or Passover yesterday. It was okay weather outside. It was warm, but it wasn't super sunny. Okay, so again, I'm gonna just make a line, and then I can erase the inside. So if you want to challenge yourself and you have a long name, that's great. You can make this with any amount of letters. But like I said, if this is something very new to you, you're welcome to do something short, such as your initials. Okay. Okay. So, Mrs. K. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our, actually let's Sharpie. I'm gonna Sharpie my letters first. So now I'm just gonna, I'll time lapse really quick Sharpieing my letters. Okay, now that my letters are Sharpied, we're gonna start making our three-dimensional lines that go all the way to the dot. So I'm going to take my straight edge and put it to my vanishing point, the dot, and then I'm going to take the other end and line it up with the bottom of my first letter M, and I'm going to make a straight line all the way to that corner. So make sure you're using a ruler. Freehanding it isn't going to give you the same effect because your lines won't be perfectly straight. So then I'm going to take the other corner, the bottom corner, and make another line. So you'll see I have two lines that make it look like this is the bottom of the M. So I'm going to do the same thing with this part of the M. And then I do have this part. Since this part is higher up than this, you're gonna just show like where it goes to. So for example, I'm gonna take my straight edge, put it to the dot, put it to this bottom corner of my M, but it's only gonna go to here, and then it's gonna disappear. So that's the only part for your M that you would have to do. So I'm just showing this line. That's it. I'm not gonna continue it all the way to the edge, and I'll tell you why when we get to the next step. So I'm gonna continue doing this for all of my letters, taking the bottom corner and bringing it to the dot. I'm left-handed, so it's easier for me to put the ruler over here, so I hope that's okay and you can see. Okay. So sometimes when I line my ruler up, I don't know if I'm like at the wrong part of the dot, or it just, sometimes it like will go askew somehow. So that's why I highly recommend using a pencil, just in case you do what I did and messed up. So if you have a curved letter to your name, so S, O, U, C, you're going to just pick out the farthest point of your letter, so that like it will, we want to make it appear like the bottom of the letter is coming to the dot. So this part of the S is sticking out furthest to the right. So I'm going to take this and make a line all the way to my dot. On this side, it would be over here. Okay. So there's the bottom of my S. And then I'm also going to do the top. But remember, I'm gonna stop it at the, I'm gonna stop it there. Okay, that's for now. That's good for now. I don't want to get mixed up into my next step. Okay, so then I'm gonna do the same thing with my period, and I'm gonna pick the point out to the side, okay? And then I've got my K. Someone's a little fuss today. I don't know if you can hear her out there. Okay. And again, I could do the slightest line for the top of my K. Like that. Okay. So now the next step is to do the sides. So make the sides of the letters look as if they're also coming to the vanishing point. So I'm gonna just go to the top of my M, and this is gonna have a similar situation to doing the inside. You're gonna stop making lines once it hits a letter where it wouldn't go all the way through. So for example, my M is just gonna go to here because the R is there. The outermost point of my R is here. And then I do have this little teeny tiny part of the R there, okay? My S is going to be this point, but I'm going to stop where I would hit the side of my S right there. Okay, and then I've got my K, which would stop here, right? And then I don't know if I'd be able to do, no. So I can't do this part of my K because it would like touch itself. So you wouldn't be able to see it because it goes right through itself. Okay, so now what you can do is you can Sharpie all of these lines, and it's a little bit tricky because my Sharpie is a lot thicker than my pencil, so I just have to be careful when I line up my straight edge to not like go off so it looks like it's off the dot, and you'll see. So I'm just gonna do that in a time lapse for time's sake. Okay, so what I did was I Sharpied all of my lines that are going to the vanishing point, and then I went through, and if you saw, I erased extra pencil lines. So again, my first one, I just used black and white, and I kept it pencil. If that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. Another thing that you can do is color. So I'm going to pick out a few colors and show you that. I think I've got, I was thinking I would do like a rainbow, so let me just count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I will pick, let's see if I can do a rainbow right. Gee, poof. Maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll just do all cool colors. So you could do a rainbow if you want, or you could do warm colors or cool colors. So I might do dark blue. And let's see, I could do a couple of greens in here. And then I've got some purple. Okay, let's see. So if this is purple, maybe I could do like these two. Sorry, Miss Klosky definitely overthinks all of this. Okay. Is that right? Okay. Hopefully that looks good. We'll go for it. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and color in all of my letters. So I'll do a time lapse so it's nice and quick. I'm not coloring in my lines, just my letters. Okay, so I colored each one of my letters in with marker. Now to add more of a 3D effect, if you have regular pencil, which you can see I did here, we're gonna add the shading. So regular pencil is fine. If you have colored pencil or crayons that you could match to each letter, that would be that would work also really nicely. So I've got green, blue, light blue, violet, and raspberry. So what I'm going to do is just, you want to create value, which is dark to light. So you're going to want, just like in my picture, you want to color near your letter by pushing down hard so that the color is more vibrant and darker. And then as it goes into the distance, it's going to get lighter. So you don't have to worry about the lines that you made. You can just color, so I'm going to color this whole section, pushing down pretty hard with my pencil. And then when I get towards, like when I go down further towards my vanishing point, I'm going to get lighter and lighter. So I'll do this letter first, and then I'll time lapse the rest. But I'm going to be careful not to run into my R, so I'm just going to keep my M green. If you're using regular pencil, obviously you don't have to worry about this. But I'm going to try to get super light now that I'm towards the bottom, so just really barely pressing with my pencil. And then I can come back in and kind of even everything out so that it looks nicely colored in, not scribbles, right? Excellent coloring. I have like a little chart in my room that shows the good coloring and needs improvement coloring and excellent coloring, which mine can honestly probably use some work right now, but that's great. So again, you want to push down pretty well around your letter, and then you're going to get really light as it gets toward the dot. I'm going to do a quick time lapse of coloring the rest of my letters, and then we'll finish up. Okay, so now my letters are all colored in. Again, I tried to concentrate like a lot darker around the letters and then make it light towards the vanishing point. Once you've gotten this far, you're all done with making your letters look three-dimensional. You're welcome to cut them out and glue them on maybe like a colorful piece of paper. You can color the background. It's totally up to you, whatever makes you happy. And again, you could make this in black and white. I probably would maybe I would color my letters in white or make these lines thicker, but this can really be, you can make it whatever you want it to be. And I look forward to seeing your 3D names, and I hope you have a wonderful Monday. I will see you tomorrow.